Holy macaroni. That is loud. Hang on, sorry about that, everybody. Let's. I was listening to music before I came on. My guest dropped the old, "Hey, can you give me half an hour?" Which, you know what, is I run into these, and my guest coming on here too. He's, kids at home too. It's a Pro D day here out in Langley, BC. So, the fun juggle of life, children, and all that great stuff. My guest. Let's get to my guest. I've known. We'll just bring him in. This is silly. Like, why do I butcher these? I go all over the place. Josh Muir, how the hell are you doing, man? It's really, really good to see you. I was happy to see your name on the schedule here. How are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. I'm doing really well. Life is good.
And we already touched the 16 degrees in Calgary today. That's great.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. If you're a migraine sufferer, it's horrible. Yeah. But you can't complain when the skies are sunny and 16 degrees on October 24th.
Yeah. They say, though, you can complain, but nobody really cares anyways, right?
No one cares.
No one cares, right? We care, right? Everybody's so buried in their stuff, and that's like, here's a good segue into sort of our conversation. We started talking about it a little bit before we jumped on here. Knowing you, Josh, we could sort of take things into any little tangent, but AI, like you're with Diagnostics, it's a great new tool, and it's I'm telling folks now as what tool are you deciding to take, because you need to take one of them because that's the way shit's going. And there's the first swear word of the show right there. It's
shit.
Here, and I also queued up the for today. So I like have all these sound effects in the beginning when I started. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna use all these sound effects, and I never do. But I digress and go off on tangents. AI, man, like let's start off. What are you using it for personally? Let's jump onto that, and let's just let's blow the tires up on AI and why it's so important these days.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fantastic. Like, it's a great feature that all of us have access to for everyday use. Like, I was thinking about it the other night, last night, in fact. My wife was working late, and I needed to pull in dinner for the kids. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I just typed into ChatGPT. I was like, kids are hungry. I'm hungry. Need something fast. And I was like, it's 10 degrees outside. It's October. Give me a fun meal. And it came up with butter chicken poutine.
Oh man, that's awesome! Like, of all things,
and it gave me a recipe for it.
Yeah.
It showed me exactly my cooking time. It was easy. I had everything in the house to do it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is great. And I tell people all the time, it's like, how many times have you used AI today? They're like, what? Yeah, how many times? Like, I get excited about it. They're like, I don't. What are you talking about? ChatGPT. Like, you got to be using it every day for every reason.
Yeah,
I use it at work. I use it for personal emails. I use it for apparently finding recipes. I mean, that's my go-to for day-to-day is ChatGPT and Gemini. I'm a Google guy, so I use Gemini for pretty much anything. And sometimes I'm curious. I'm like, I think this would be a cool business idea. So I floated into my AI platform. So I'm like, hey, can you create a business model and da-da-da? Yeah, done. My wife and I were talking about it because she's a hairstylist and we were talking about her schedule and stuff. And I don't know how it came up. I'm like, you know what? I bet I can create a better scheduling software for your salon. She's like, you don't know how to do stuff like that. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
ChatGPT does.
That's right. Yeah.
And I just typed in, can you create a scheduling platform? And it said, I can't do this, but here's all the code for you to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And it spit out like 10 pages of code for me to develop a scheduling software for a hair salon.
Yeah.
Man, it's game over for normal people. Like, only people that are thinking ahead, like AI, those are the people that are going to do big things, man.
Yeah, I mean, even like you just nailed it there, like even coding, right? Folks are going through computer science. It's like changing the game on that front. There's no banging your head against the wall, trying to figure out, make things work. It's getting better too. Like, man, we're just scratching the surface too. That's what blows my mind the most. Because I'm same with me, Josh. Like I get really excited about it because it's really, we talked about this. Like, let's do things faster and free our time up to do. Life is short, right? Like let's be more efficient. Like the output is. You can write like a poet, you know what I mean? But like, here's the thing. My rule is I will not press send on an email. I proof it. I'm not just like, I need an email created for this. Like my prompts, I'll almost write the complete email before I send it out, but it'll be within a profile that I've built for that particular topic. So whether that's a client or, I'm writing a book or whatever that might be, it comes from that base of data. Like you can build your own sort of profiles within ChatGPT. And honestly, in between that and Spotify those are the two coolest, life-changing for me personally. Like, man, oh man, it makes I enjoy it. Like I enjoy for my book, I'll put in a couple pages of material and ask for sort of to create an image based on that, and it's really cool to then, do things like that with it, or creatively. Obviously, that's a big part of my world. Is like it's not it's not like a crutch or what. It's to me it is. It allows me to take my imagination and actually manifest things to reality through it. Like it's incredible. So, what is that looking now? We can dive into the whole dentistry front. Is like, what are you seeing? Obviously, you're entrenched in it now. How is it changing the world on that front?
Oh man, it has to. If you think about it from let's talk about the mindset of the practitioner, like the one that's trying to stay ahead. They're looking at ways that they can become more efficient. They're looking at tools. They're looking at diagnostic tools. They're looking at ways to assess their supply levels and be more articulate with how they supply their practice day to day. And there are AI tools for virtually every area, every corner of a dental practice. I'm with Dentistry. I love the company. We've been around since 2018, and we're a AI diagnostic tool. We analyze every image in the practice, from bite wings to pans to CBCTs. We've got 2D, 3D. We've got pretty much the most robust diagnostic tool on the market right now, and it's amazing what you can do. I can imagine. I'm not a practitioner. I don't claim to be. I know just a wee bit about dentistry. I've been in it long enough to understand a few things.
I love when you're a humble man. You're very well versed. But I will let you continue.
Yeah, no. I just think of it from a practitioner standpoint of, wow, what an easy job I have. Not easy job, but how AI has made my job much more efficient and effective. Not just from a confirmation or a second opinion of my diagnostics, but also to be able to educate the patient in a way that the patients can understand it. So let me paint the picture, and I don't need to demo you the product. People want to see it, they can schedule a demo with me. I'll show them the ins and outs. Basically, we take those images and we lay over kind of conditions. So on the 2D side, we detect 40 plus conditions. On the 3D side, we detect 65 plus conditions. And then we colorize the conditions. So in these images that you're generating or that you're taking constantly for your patients, rather than showing them this grayscale, you're showing them, yeah, perfect, this colorization. So you can articulate to a patient in a way that makes sense to them. They're not staring at this, gray image constantly, and you're pointing out, well, look at this darker shade of gray, and look at this lighter shade of gray. You're spelling out plainly and clearly to that patient exactly what you're talking about in a way that they can understand visually. And I just think about case acceptance going through the roof, because now you've got this patient segment that truly understands what's happening in the mouth. and you're able to demonstrate it in a way that you were never able to demonstrate it before. And you've got this, again, I'll say it again, a great second opinion. You've got this diagnostic tool, this AI tool that's coming in and analyzing those images in an instant and giving you that feedback. And you're going, yeah, this looks awesome. This is great. Let's show the patient. And it reduces time, creates workflow efficiencies in your practice, and everyone's on the same page. So now, if let's say you're in a super huge practice with, 15 operatories and you've got 5 associate dentists and you're all using Dynacat, you're all on the same page. You're all using the same AI platform that is determining the same detections in the mouth, and your treatment is consistent across your entire practice because you're sure that you've got this great diagnostic tool that is being represented across all associates in your practice. I think it's just, man, you got to be using diagnostic AI in your practice. It's just a must.
Yeah. And
they're great.
Yeah, I mean, we could go off on all sorts of the pros, right? And I've talked to several practice owners now that are using it, and it's like our eyes and our brains are limited to the mushy stuff that they're capable of, right? So now if we have a solution that, obviously radiography helps us see beyond the spectrum that we can, but if we're having this tool now circle things, right? And also I've heard from the patient perspective where, and this is from a very relevant somebody that I trust, Dr. Jan Jaffer across his, Trek Dental in your neck of the woods is, the solution that he's using is the folks in the chair looking at the screen and they're trusting the technology more than the people talking about what's going on. So what does that say, right? So, we talk about, catching things from the business perspective, like doing more dentistry, right? Because we're highlighting where we're seeing things. It's just the extra little, yeah.
And man, you nailed it. Sorry to cut you off. Like, people trust technology now. I think we trust technology more than we trust other people sometimes. And my wife is always getting on my case because I see a video. I'm like, oh, check this out. She's like, it's AI. But it's cool. But it's cool. There's grandma's feeding a bear from her porch every morning. It's like, that's not real, Josh.
I know,
but it looks real. So, and it's entertainment. Through every industry, AI is so prevalent. Why shouldn't it be levered for good? Like, yeah, it can be, if you look at the bad aspects of AI, it can be deceitful. You can, there's so many fake news articles that look so real, but they're AI generated. But then you think about it from the positive, and man, the work we put into Dynacat to make this the best AI diagnostic tool for dentistry, the, dozens of doctors globally, dentists globally, that annotated millions of images that built our software. And now other practitioners are benefiting from their hard work building this AI engine that's just super powerful. Like, there's such a positive aspect to AI and what it can do for multiple industries. Like, that's why I say, if you're not incorporating AI into your day-to-day, you're way behind the game. Yeah. Like, to be the best version of you would be to use every tool available to you to be more effective, more efficient, more proficient, like everything. You have to adopt AI.
Yeah.
Or you're sorry to say, I mean, and I hate to offend people, but it's like, if you're not using AI, you're in the dark ages.
Yeah, 100%. And I like to address the fear part, and I like to use this analogy when addressing the fear aspect of it is, we learn how to split the atom, right? So from that, we created a really devastating bomb with it. There's, the negative aspect of it, but
great movie, by the way.
Yeah, Oppenheimer is great. One of my favorites. And man, oh man, it's I'm a complete nerd, so I love that stuff. But we also learn how to make clean energy with it. So, yes, no matter what the tool is, you're going to have folks using things for wrong intentions, or that's why I think I implore people out there to where do you start? Start with something like ChatGPT and just fiddle around with it. Like, educate yourself on it. And there's so many little videos out there to like self-teach yourself. And AI, like, just, I don't know how to use, like, you just prompt it. I don't know how to use this tool. How do I use it? And then
well, responsible use, right? Like if we can teach responsible use of technology advancements. And my daughter so she's 17. Now that she's out of school because of this teacher strike, I'm like, just go get a part-time job. She's like, what, Dad? Because I wasn't big on like, I'd rather my kids focus on their school when they're in school. Like they're not for want in any area of their lives. So it's just like, you don't have to get a job until you're either bored or you're out of school. So she's out of school now. I'm like, go get a job. So she's like, okay, help me write an email. And I'm like, let's use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to use it. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
She's like, well, because it's not me. And it took me like 10 minutes to walk her through that. Like, tell me what you want to say. Okay, type it out. And she typed it out. And I said, okay, and now hit polish this email. It's for a job prospect. And it polished it, and it sounded super professional. Like she was like a 30-year-old pro doing this, and she was applying for a new job. And I said, now write this as a 17-year-old that's applying for their first job.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT just really normalized the email and started using language that a 17-year-old would use. And she's like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because it's a tool that helps benefit you. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. And I wish teachers would get it out of kids' minds that they can't use ChatGPT. They need to start teaching them how to use it appropriately.
Yes.
Right? They're saying, well, you wrote that paper with ChatGPT, so it doesn't count. Well, how about you explain how they can use AI to benefit their work and write papers the right way? So, I think it's incumbent on all of us as business owners, as leaders in business, to educate our teams, as dentists, to educate our patients. Why are we using AI? Educate them that it's a good thing that we're doing this. Like, it starts with every one of us just using it responsibly and educating other people on how to do that.
I mean, you crushed it like that. I echo that, and adding to that sentiment too is, I think the folks that are immersing themselves in it quickly realize the positive benefits of it. And yes, whenever there's change, like we were afraid of electrical wires, right? Like back when electricity was discovered, but look where that went, right? I think it's like it's an instinctual thing to fear something that we don't understand. So jump into it, because you've heard. I've listened to several, well-versed folks that have achieved a lot in life that are saying, even like from every front, like a bit like for a business, from the business side of things, folks that are not adopting it in their day-to-day automations and systems, their competitors will eventually eat them alive, the folks that are using it. And I see it because I'm immersed in it. And back to the, your daughter writing that email. And like, I'm teaching my kids too. Mackenzie's 10 and Noah's 6, and just goofing around and creating silly little pictures of themselves or whatever, just so that they're using it, because I think it's one of these things that will run alongside school as like the no. But like, I remember back in school, the kids that like jumped into Commodore 64 and computers and stuff are now like so successful because they understood computing and technology, and they taught themselves at usually it was like a dad that had some sort of form of computer in their day-to-day, like an accountant or whatever. But the kids that like jumped in and learned technology are now benefiting from that. And like, we can jump into the education system. I think it is, we stay on the bases and teach all the fundamental things going through. But I agree with you. I think there should be some aspect, and maybe even like a high school course that they can take that they're learning how to use all the various different tools that are available. Because seriously, like, I think, you know, fast forward 10 years, 15 years from now, I think we're all going to be just managing AIs, doing various aspects of our whatever it is. You know, obviously the hands-on plumbing, electric, that kind of thing. And, there will be jobs replaced, but there were hundreds of thousands of jobs replaced when the Industrial Revolution came through. Like, there's not people on an assembly line anymore. Like, we've got robotics and machines to do that now. So it's always like, let's let the technology do the the laborious, low value tasks. And I say that, but like the AI is going to be doing high level stuff too, which is, I think we could all speculate on what it's going to mean in the future, but we're just going to live into it. And I think it's up to the developers of these technologies to be responsible and make sure that there's like checkpoints and fail safes, and everybody stays within the boundaries. But where it's going to get really wild is country to country. This is going to be a really, really, really interesting thing to watch. You see all these countries building all these massive data centers. That's sort of like, there's that, and then the power needs for these data centers is the next thing. So it's going to really push our species forward in sort of that, that evolution of innovation. So, it's just like, I think about it probably way too much, but really it's changing the world as we speak. Like, we're seeing folks being replaced. And my argument is, and this is like, obviously we don't want to cut these folks out. I think there's a responsible way to adapt new technology. We want to work alongside it, and we don't want to just like put it in place and slash people off. And we want to retrain people and repurpose. And it's going to be like a big adjustment for our society. Like, it really is. And you don't know that unless you are like working with it, like you and I are working with it day to day. It's get in, like, download something.
Again, I don't think it's a bad thing for us to incorporate it into all aspects of our lives. Like, I think there's great value in, the more AI we can use, the more efficient we become. You think about it from a corporation perspective. The more efficient your corporation is, the lower your costs are. Hopefully the intent is those cost savings are passed to whoever's using your product or service, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, that should be the goal, is to make access to things more accessible, because the cost of manufacturing, the cost of service is driven down so significantly. I mean, of course, there's a balance, and you're a company, you've got to make money, and some companies are responsible to shareholders, and they still have, responsibilities from a corporate side of things. But ultimately, I think the goal and the vision is to really leverage technology to be able to accomplish more as an organization. Mm-hmm. And, I'll bring it back to dentistry. Like, AI diagnostic tools are helping create such efficiencies and be able to demonstrate to those patients the importance of work that needs to be done. Your case acceptance is going up. That benefits your business. The acceptance level of the patient is going up, which really, it creates better oral health for your patients. And long term, that costs them less in terms of how often they need to have major work done. There are a lot of pros to both sides of the equation when you incorporate AI into that equation. I think it's just a must. I don't see how you can open a practice today and not look to AI. I mean, think about it when CBCTs were hardly in the market. Dentists were not familiar with them. It was this nuanced technology that they didn't quite understand yet, some of them. But now, recent statistics show that CBCT market is growing massively across North America.
Yeah.
Or CBCT centers are growing massively. And now the technology, the AI diagnostics are coming alongside it. So when I meet a dentist that just bought a CBCT and they say, yeah, I probably do, 5 or 6 scans a month. I'm going, well, what if we could provide a platform that helped you interpret that DICOM in a matter of minutes and provide this great visualization for your patient as to what's going on? Now you're marrying a great physical technology with a great AI technology, and the combination is phenomenal. The outcome potential is huge. It's massive. And you can really start to ramp up your use of that particular machine that you invested quite a bit of money in, because now you've got software that comes alongside and helps you maximize the efficiency of that great piece of technology. So yeah, it's an exciting time for new dentists, man. If they're all in on technology and AI, it would be, I've thought about it a couple of times that the light bulb's gone off saying, man, I could go back to school. I could be a dentist, because the technology that today, and I'm not saying everyone can do it. Obviously there's got to be a drive and a desire for you to do what you do, but man, yeah, the advancements in technology and AI that exists like DiagnoCat is massive. I didn't even mention, so we're launching a transcriptor product in November. And this is cool too, right? It's AI transcription. It'll take that conversation between you and the patient. It'll convert that to text. You can put it in your PM for your patient's chart. And another step that is increasing efficiency, it's eliminating one step in that workflow by automating it, that transcription of that conversation and the annotation into the patient's file. Like that's another massive piece, time savings for the practitioner. And you said it earlier, it's like, it gives you more time to do the right things, to spend time with. And the spend time with, in the case of a dental practice, is spend time with the patient. Mm-hmm. Like you should be spending time typing out on your keyboard. You should be spending time analyzing radiographs for hours on end. You should have an assistive tool that allows you to do that in a fraction of the time, so you can really spend that time with the patient, showing them exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and curating that information in a way that it's just, put on a silver platter for the patient, with, not to mention, the visuals up on a screen as well. You said it earlier too, like take that patient through the journey so they can see things the way that a patient might understand better, right? With visual reference to that. Like our time is finite too, right? We don't want to spend time doing these low value tasks, and if there's a tool to do it, like I'm all in. I don't if it's in between, bringing somebody on board or having a tool in place that I can just have things done efficiently. Now, like even looking at it as in this business model where like you've got these tools doing these low value tasks, now I can hire somebody with like lots of talent that brings really interesting things to the table and makes it like the difference makers. Like that's what I would sort of recommend. That's what I'm recommending to my kids now. Like what are you going to do to make a difference? Like what special things do you want? Like, I think there's going to be more of an ability for us to pursue passions rather than find a job, with this. And again, like we're here for 80 to 100 years if we're lucky. I'd rather get my work done and spend time, doing things that I love. And I love my work too. And I think AI helps me enjoy it that much better too. Like I hate administration, like administration work. Man, I don't like writing. I do like communication. It's a big part of it, but I like writing, sitting down and formulating an email and things like that. If I can get my thoughts out into something and help, it helps it regurgitate that. I know it's like the worst. Sounds like I'm barfing things out, but regurgitating it in a way that like makes sense to people. That's communication, and it's like again where it's turning us all into like PhD level script writers and all that stuff. But it's like we're going to live into this. I don't think we really comprehend the magnitude of this stuff. So it's super exciting. And I'm just like looking at all your, like the Dignacat website things. Just what a great website too. This is great.
Yeah,
Let's walk through sort of a, somebody that's kind of hesitant to onboarding this technology. Like what would you say to the hesitant folks out there, or the folks that just kind of, they haven't even played around with a ChatGPT or immersed themselves into any form of AI? How does that look for those people, like the non-technically astute folks?
Yeah, it's a great question. Kind of a loaded question. Here's a loaded answer. I think for the dentist that's like not keen on AI, they're not requesting the demos to begin with. They're not requesting information because they're AI reluctant. I think you said it best. The starting place is just dip your big toe in the AI pool. Like, get it wet. Fiddle around with ChatGPT. If you're a Google user, fiddle around with Gemini. I use Gemini similar to you. I'll type emails out and then I'll just hit polish at the end because, I'm really bad at proofreading my emails, and sometimes, I get words mixed up or things spelled wrong, and I just say, just polish it. It's a one-click button. But then I read it over and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Send it off. So that's how I started incorporating it myself, was just using it here and there, just doing little things, little tasks that created more efficiencies in my workflow. And I'd say to that dentist, like, think about a time that you experienced a challenge kind of walking through treatment to a patient because visually they just didn't understand what you were getting at. Now, let's imagine we were able to provide a tool that instantly analyzed your radiographs and presented this colorization to the patient where now you can point out directly and say, see this purple? This is a cavity, or whatever the case may be. See this line? This is periodontal bone loss. We really got to focus on your flossing. So it becomes this great educational tool that you may have struggled, or your hygienist may have struggled in the past in helping educate your patients because they didn't know what they were looking at. And it's funny, I was talking with a buddy of mine and in dentistry, and he was saying, we all know what happens. The doctor's in the operatory. They're going over the bite wings with the patient. They're saying, you see this, we got to do this, blah, 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 blah. And when the doctor leaves, the patient leans over and goes, do you have any idea what he's talking about?
Yeah.
And not that the doctor wasn't articulate, but it may have been very clinical and the patient didn't really understand. And the patient's asking the assistant's going, okay, let me explain it to you in normal terms. Well, think of AI as, again, your second opinion, that assistive way of you delivering the message to the patient visually, clear and concise, in a way that's going to encourage them to, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Let's do it. When can I book my second appointment? So that is my encouragement to dentists that are reluctant to try it. It's like, think about your patient experience, okay? Think about the opportunity this presents for you to really educate patients in a more visual way. And we've all said this, or we've all learned this. People are different learners. Some learn by listening. Many people learn by looking, by being visually educated as to what's happening. And this is that great visual educational tool for your patients. And it's a confirmation of what you already know to be true. So there should be no issues using something that's just, one, it's just confirming what you already know. But two, it might pick up on something you didn't see, which is a value add. And then three, it helps you educate your patient better. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
So just try it out.
Yeah. And transversely, what are you saying for the super users, like the folks that are technically astute, the early adopters? Like, let's hear some success stories. Like, we can talk about production I'll let you kind of navigate those waters.
Okay, I won't use the illustration. I won't name any names. This is not a super user yet. He will be a super user, but essentially, I met this great implantologist, great guy, loves technology, adopts it in every area of his life. And when he heard about DynaCat, wanted to see it. Of course, we sat through a demo and we talked, much like we're having a conversation right now about AI and about technology and how it can be used as a benefit. And what was interesting to me from his perspective was, I am a great diagnostician. I am a great implantologist. I'm a great dentist. What this tool is going to allow for me to do is simple, easy one-tooth implants. Like for me, I can do them in my sleep, eyes closed. But for those days where I'm just like, I've got 3 or 4 patients back to back, overlapped, etc., I can just run through the ortho report, through the implant report, generate my surgical guide and go. And I do it in a minute and a half or 2 minutes, whatever it takes. And for me, that's how you really benefit from AI, even as a super user. He said, it's not that I can't do it. It's that why wouldn't I use technology to be more efficient and effective and just get it done? And he said, I'm not going to use it for everything, but in days where I'm slammed and I just want to bang one out, use the implant report, get it done, and move on to the next patient. Like that to me is just incredible comfortability and knowledge of how AI can benefit you. Just use it for the simple stuff that just makes your life easy. And I think that, that mindset is going to become more prevalent in the industry. I think I read a statistic. I had ChatGPT do an analysis for me on how many dental practices incorporate AI into their day-to-day business. And the current number, or the most recent number from 2024, was 65% of dental practices have some form of AI in their practice management. Whether that be they're using ChatGPT or Gemini like I am, or they're using one of the many companies out there that use AI to determine supply levels in your practice, or they're using diagnostic AI. And diagnostic AI tools are one of the fastest growing segments of the AI market in dentistry. So I think, again, I'll reiterate my previous statement. If you're not using AI in diagnostics today, you're behind the game. It's growing so fast. I remember when I got into dentistry, one of my first roles in dentistry was with Dental Corp, a DSO here in Canada. And back then, DSOs, they were around, but they weren't as big as they are today. And here we are a decade later. And the DSO space is massive in dentistry. Yeah. From the emerging, which are 5 or 6 practices, specialties. I was talking with a great implant group this morning. It's such a quickly growing part of that business, segment of that business, and AI is going to be the same way. We're going to see AI adopted across the industry in ways we didn't even think possible. And I think, again, you just got to start using it, like whatever it is, incorporate it into some aspect of your business today. But ultimately, I'm here to pitch my product too. You got to look at AI diagnostics for your practice. Yeah.
Well, if folks do want to reach out and get started, I obviously, the website is usually a good spot. Is this little book a free demo widget pops up? Is that sort of the best form to get a hold of you guys and check things out?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, put the demo on our website or I don't know, you can share my email address in your post. I'm sure you're going to blast this on social media later, but I'm happy to receive as many emails as I can because I've got AI that filters my inbox.
There you go. Yeah.
Advertises interest in DynaCat to the top of my inbox.
You know what? I can't wait till I just get in my car and it already knows where I need to go because based on my schedule, I just sit in there. I can sit in the back seat. Maybe I'll get a little picnic in the back, and I'm working on the computer. It takes like an hour and a half to get anywhere in Vancouver. So you just think of the You know, I was in.
It already does that.
I know. Like I was in Phoenix. I was gonna say, I was in Phoenix at the airport there. They have the big the technology on the top of the cars, all these like driverless taxis just whizzing by, like tens of them. It was wild. It's like, holy crap! Hadn't seen it of that magnitude before, but it's coming, and any if your work there's any digital aspect to it, there's going to be some AI component to it. So,
for sure.
We can dive deeper down the technology hole, but what else is going on, Josh? What are you seeing out there, like in just the business of how's Calgary holding up? How are things? It's an interesting time. What's going
Calgary
on?
Calgary is interesting, man. Well, when the pandemic hit, I think it changed a lot of things. And the number one thing that changed, of course, in the pandemic was the whole work from home philosophy.
Yeah.
Because companies had to survive. And if you weren't like a direct to consumer, like you didn't run a coffee shop or a restaurant or something where you needed physical interaction, you needed to pivot. And at that time I was working for Max Assist, and we pivoted to work from home. And we put some, processes in place to solidify the business in a very questionable time for everybody. And we were very successful in that. And a lot of companies that went to a work from home model and pivoted, they were very successful. So, I think that was the first thing that changed. And how that impacted Alberta was we had one of the lowest cost of living in the country. So we started to see this slow build to a massive migration of people across the country that wanted to come to Calgary or Calgary to Edmonton corridor, because now that you could work from virtually anywhere, why wouldn't I go live somewhere that had, 40% less cost of living? So we've seen this massive growth in population. And, talk about finding trades. Like we're trying to fix some of our hardwood floor, and it's been like 3 weeks for me now trying to find someone to come. I need like 8 boards replaced, and I can't find someone to come fix it because they're all tied up with new building development because so many people are moving into the market. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, Calgary's a bustling city, baby.
It's a great town. There's lots of great people. Yeah, I love hanging out in Calgary. It's always a good time. There's lots of good folks there. Good, like the dental industry there is always seemingly to be just rocking and rolling too. Like it's a good industry. Like in that neck of the woods, there's a lot of great practitioners out there too. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of innovative things coming out of Alberta.
And they're big tech users here. I mean, we're like Silicon Valley of Canada and in Calgary. So everyone's a technology user. They use it in every aspect of their day to day.
Can you be a technology user as well as a cowboy? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, for sure you can. Why not?
Yeah, that's true. Why not? Why the hell not?
I mean, think about it. If I ride bulls for a living, this is my profession. I want to understand how I hang on for 8 seconds.
Yeah.
You're darn right. I'm using technology to assess my rides to see where I'm wrong. Because think about it, like they can determine your weight, how it's shifting, angles, what's the best positioning for you to hang on for 8 seconds.
Yeah.
You can use AI for anything right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and cowboys, farmers, they use technology every single day.
No, yeah. I've my previous life, I worked for a company called Cavendish. I don't know if you're familiar. It's
French fries.
French fries, yeah. So I was out there in Lethbridge, seeing these potato farms. You got the Russet Burbanks and the Kennebec potato fields, and these like the combines. The technology that they're using is all, it's all driven by like geolocation to like 3 square centimeters like to yield maximum amount of potatoes out of these fields, and it's damn right they're using the tech there. It's really cool. You might see this boring field, but there's like so much science that's and thought that's been developed over the years of agriculture to be, where they're at now. And some of these pieces of technology are like $500,000, $1 million just driving around these fields. It's pretty cool.
Think about like a Roomba. It's like your AI vacuum for your home.
Yeah.
Like, I think it exists more than we think it exists, and it's just people need to open their eyes a little bit, for sure.
And the next thing is going to be robotics. Like, I want the robot that's going to do the laundry, that's going to, you don't have to worry now about plugging in and asking what dinner you're going to make, because the robot's already gone and purchased the groceries, put them away. And then, it's cooking
It's like the
meal.
Star Trek days, when they went to the cafeteria and ordered whatever meal they wanted, and that it would like automatically generate.
The replicator or whatever. Yeah, that's what I want. You're like tea, Earl Grey, hot. I can't wait. And we're gonna be going to look for civilizations in worlds we don't understand. That's
well, I think that's the evolution, right? And you said it. You can find your passion now. Like, your time's free. You can do the things that really bring you life and inspire you. And now you've got the time. You're not breaking your back working 80-hour work weeks, because you can get your work done in the normal 35-hour work week, 40-hour work week. It'll give us life, not eliminate future positions. Although I have heard that they've now developed a AI tool that will build your roof for you. So you put this machine, a colleague was telling me about it. They put this machine on the rooftop and it scans the roof with the exception of really complicated angles and such, but it'll actually map the roof out. And then there's a way it's got this like roll of shingles that it feeds into this machine, and it will automatically lay the shingles for you, nail them into the roof. I mean, I think we're probably, 5-10 years away from it completely replacing roofers, but talk about an industry where, it's got a high injury rate. Someone falls off a roof, that's pretty serious. It's very weather dependent, especially in Calgary, when it's building snow, they're not building roofs here. Whereas a machine can avoid all of that nonsense. So I think, you have to think pragmatically about, the good that it can bring to different industries and sectors. And don't be afraid of it. It's here whether we like it or not. So might as well.
Yeah. And it's going to get better. And I mean, shit, they're going to fly, Musk is going to put a colony on Mars, and, it's all going to be built by robots. So,
hey, I like vacations.
Yeah. It's a one way, to Mars. Welcome to the dome. I just think of Total Recall, the guy with like the alien coming out of his chest, right? All right, this is gonna get silly. Josh, any you've said many final thoughts. You must have one last pearl to share, and then I'll let you go on your merry way, sir.
I'll correct you. I have one last Diagnocat to share.
Okay.
No mention of our competitors on this call, please.
Okay.
I'll just lean in on it. Like, just use it every day. Get into it. Dip your big toe in that pool. I mean, even if it's as simple as looking up a recipe for dinner, it drastically makes your life easier in every aspect, whether it be work or life. It creates that balance that maybe you don't have in your life right now, or your work right now. And don't be afraid of it. It does a lot of good. In fact, I think that AI now does more good than it does bad. Don't pay attention to the media. Don't buy into that lie. It's here to stay. Embrace it, and make yourself more efficient, more effective in your day to day. Those are my closing words, sir. Love
it, sir. Well, Josh, it's been great. It's awesome to see you, man. I always enjoy chatting with you, and let's do this again. And I'm glad to see you, kicking some butt with Diagnocat. I think what a great segment of the market to be working in right now. You must be just like pulling your hair out and busy as heck. So awesome, man. All this success. And yeah, let's keep in touch, sir.
Thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
Likewise.